everyone. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Can you believe it? We made it. We are almost done with 2020, right? And today is our last read aloud of the school year. Well, not the school year, right? The school year, though, of 2020, right? So yesterday and on Monday, we read how Santa got his job, right? We saw how he went from being a chimney sweep to like a zookeeper, right? And he was the postal man. And finally, the elves hired him and he became the Santa that we know. Well, today, we have a little bit of the opposite, okay? We have how Santa lost his job. Wait a second. How Santa lost his job? Santa's coming tomorrow night. How did he lose his job? Well, we're going to find out. And the main skill we are going to be working on in this read aloud is compare and contrast, okay? How both stories were the same. If something was the same, it's going to go in the middle of those two circles. If they were different and it was only in how Santa got his job, you'll put it in that bubble, right? That circle. And if it's only in how Santa lost his job, you'll put it in that circle. Okay, and we're going to compare and contrast. Again, what was the same in both books and what was different. Now, this is a funny one, but I'm going to need your help with it. All right, guys, all set? You bet, how Santa lost his job. Now, as a reader, let's predict, let's look into those crystal balls. How do you think Santa could ever have lost his job? Okay, maybe, right? I'm going to predict he ate too many cookies. Oh, all right, let's find out. Every year before the big ride, Santa checked the weather, reviewed some maps, trimmed his beard, polished his boots, fed the reindeer, and packed the sleigh. Okay, so just normal things to get ready for Christmas. He moved as fast as he could, but even so, there was always a last-minute rush. Some of the elves grumbled about this. Why can't Santa plan better? How comes he's so slow? Grumbled, right? He's like upset. One year, an elf named Muckle said even more. Santa is too set in his ways, he declared. Declared would be like he made a statement, right? He's like, he's too set in his ways. He's not good at this. He wastes so much time and energy. Maybe so his friends agreed. But what could they do? After all, Santa was only human. This gave Muckle an idea. Okay, so when we're comparing again and contrasting the two stories, Santa's in both, right? But there is an elf that has it out for Santa, and his name is Muckle. Here's Muckle, okay? Muckle kind of reminds me of Duck from Duck for President when we read that about a month ago, a little over a month ago, right? So, Santa, he's an old man, we know this, right? He's too stuck in his ways, they say. He's slow, right? He takes a long time to do everything, and Muckle's like, I've had enough of this. Let's have a new idea. What do you think Muckle's idea is? Okay, all right. What are things that move fast, right? What are things that help things go quicker? Maybe technology. All right, let's see. For months, he worked on a secret project, and almost every day, the mail carrier, Clara, dropped off packages at his door. What are you up to? She'd ask, but Muckle wouldn't say. He kept his workshop locked and didn't let anyone in. It was late fall when Muckle finally showed off his creation. It's the Deliberator! He proclaimed. The elves admired the shiny metal and blinking lights. What does it do? They asked. It's a replacement, said Muckle, for Santa. Okay, so it looks like Muckle kind of built this big contraption, right? Kind of like a robot, right? And something that is not human, okay, to replace Santa. What do you guys think? Thumbs up? You think this is a good idea to use a robot, the Deliberator, to replace Santa? Or thumbs down? No way, Muckle, it's not gonna work. Okay, let's see. Muckle claimed the Deliberator could travel around the world in one night, and it could go up and down chimneys with ease, and it could deliver toys in the blink of an eye. Clara heard the news as she made her rounds. But Santa already does those things, she told Muckle. Maybe so, he said, but the Deliberator will do them sooner, faster, and better. The other elves were impressed. However, they still needed proof. Fine, said Muckle. Let's test Santa against the Deliverator. The winner will deliver our toys from now on. When Santa heard the news, he shook his head. There's more to my job than meets the eye, he said. But since you make the toys, the decision is yours. Okay. So at first glance, guys, I'm looking at the Deliverator. The elves are looking at the Deliverator. It seems like a great idea. Get rid of the old man, right? And the Deliverator will deliver all the toys just like that. What do you guys think? Okay, maybe some people are thinking, you know what, that's a good idea, right? Let's get with the times, elves. Let's get with some technology. And then some people are like, no, it's not going to work. Let's see. These books. Oh. All right. In the first contest, the elves timed how long it took Santa and the Deliverator to get ready to leave. Santa always started off with a bubble bath, then he carefully got dressed. One of his boots usually gave him a little trouble. The Deliverator, though, didn't take baths or wear boots, so it was ready first. Why was it ready first? Because it's a robot, has nothing to get ready for. All right. Next, Clara brought in 2 big stacks of mail. She put one in front of Santa and one in front of the Deliverator. A pile of toys sat between them. You have 1 hour, Muckle explained to Santa. Whoever matches the most children with gifts wins. The Deliverator whirled and hummed, scanning each request with lightning speed and pairing it to a toy. Santa read more slowly. Oh, I don't think he'd really like this, he'd murmur. It's kind of like mumble. And he didn't play with the one she got last year. Before long, he was hopelessly behind. Okay. Now, I want to take a quick minute to talk about this page. So the Deliverator we know is a robot. Does the robot really care, the Deliverator, about the kids? No. Right? The Deliverator doesn't know the kids. What about Santa? Yeah. Starting to see maybe the downsides to this Deliverator. Let's see though. The third contest started out with 2 adjoining rooftops. So 2 rooftops right next to each other. Go! Shouted Muckle. Santa and the Deliverator each raced down a chimney. They both reached the bottom in a second and put the toys under the tree. But Santa noticed the milk and cookies. Chocolate chip, he said, my favorite. The Deliverator didn't care about cookies. It shot back out the chimney while Santa was still drinking his milk. I told you, Muckle shouted. Santa is history. Okay, why would the Deliverator not care about milk and cookies? Yeah, it's not alive, right? A robot is not alive. It is not a person. It does not have feelings. It does not have taste. All right, let's see what the elves do, though. The elves congratulated Muckle on his victory. Only Clara still thought that they were making a mistake. Santa isn't just about meeting a schedule, she said. He cares about getting things right. But nobody would listen. We're sorry, the elves told Santa, but business is business. All right, so it appears right now that Muckle has won. Do you think that the Deliverator is going to be just as good on Christmas Eve tomorrow as Santa? Or thumbs down? No way, something's going to go wrong here. Okay. As the days grew shorter, the elves worked longer and harder. Each toy was finished, Muckle sorted and tagged it, and it was loaded on board the Deliverator. When it was almost time to leave, storm clouds rolled in. You should change the Deliverator's course, the elves told Muckle. Too late, he said. I already programmed the route. The elves shrugged. You must do it anyway, and make room for a few more gifts. But I already weighed the balance, Muckle protested. Santa never complained about such things, the elves reminded him. Very well, said Muckle, gritting his teeth. Okay, so there seems to be a storm coming. The elves are like, let's change the path. And Muckle's like, can't. I already programmed it. The elves are like, but I made a few more gifts. Put it in. And Muckle's like, I already accounted for the weight. This seems like this could be all bad. Let's see, though. He fiddled quickly with the dials and switches. Then, fearing that the elves might ask for even more, Muckle made a decision. Let's go, he said, pressing a button. The Deliverator's rockets fired up and took off into the darkening sky. But with the extra weight and the new directions, the Deliverator seemed confused. Instead of disappearing from sight, it kept circling overhead. Just a little bit more power, Muckle insisted. He pressed one button after another. The rockets glowed brighter. The Deliverator spiraled around faster and faster. Uh-oh. What do you guys think is going to happen to the Deliverator? Oh, it might crash. All right, let's see. Meanwhile, Santa was at home, trying to relax, but it felt strange having free time of this of all nights. He cleaned and dusted and cooked enough food to feed an army. Clara and the reindeer came over to keep Santa company, but even they couldn't get him to slow down. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. The elves were outside. "We need you, Santa," they said. "We need you now." Wait, why do you think they need Santa? Did the Deliverator fail? Oh, I don't know. When Santa arrived, the situation was all too clear. The elves looked very uncomfortable. "Santa, will you take your job back?" they asked. "Please?" "Of course," Santa said, and left it at that. Everyone, even Muckle, helped load the sleigh and hitch up the reindeer. It was their most hectic year yet. All right, guys, so in the end, what happened here? They needed Santa, right? The robot failed, the Deliverator failed. Nothing is as good as what? Santa. After that, nobody talked about replacing Santa again. Each year, there were new delays or mix-ups, but the elves didn't mind. They realized now that that was all perfectly normal. Still, not everything stayed the same. Santa had learned a lot from the whole experience. And as happy as he had been before, okay, now we see kind of like elves with computers. Okay, we see still the mail. So we see a little bit of the mix of the new and the old. He was even happier for years to come. Who'd he marry? Clara. And Clara became Mrs. Claus. All right, guys, so Santa really didn't lose his job. He lost it for like a half a day, right? It's the Deliverator. And we learned that robots will never, ever, ever replace Santa. Okay, well, again, in Google Classroom today, your job is to compare and contrast. Okay, so if it was the same in both books, you're gonna put it right in the middle. If it was only in how Santa got his job, okay, like being a chimney sweeper, right, and being in the circus, you would put it on that side. If it was in only how Santa lost his job, you put it on the other side. Maybe like Clara. Clara was only in how Santa lost his job. And Muckle and the Deliverator. All right, guys, I hope everybody has a great holiday. Have a wonderful Christmas Eve and Christmas if you celebrate, and a wonderful New Year's. I will see you in 2021. Fingers crossed for a better year, right? And have a great break. Bye, guys.